Good morning and welcome to my little world. Today we're going to look at the other two furnished rooms of the Painted Lady. So let's go inside. First we have this side door with arched windows to an outside scene. And this is the library slash smoking room, sitting room. It's the men's area, as you can see. The sitting room up here is very feminine, and this sitting room is very masculine. So here's a view around the sides, and here's the other window. Taller arched windows on this side with another really beautiful scene outside. And these scenes in the windows are all from pictures that I had from a calendar, I believe, that my mother had from the Metropolitan Art Museum. And they were all these reproductions of famous and well-known paintings, and I have used them in a variety of ways. And one of the ways was in these windows. So I used, of course, my scrapbooking paper as wallpaper here. And I also used wood. We have wood paneling in here, and it is from several sources. Part of it is from a CD holder that I took apart, and I used both the base and the pieces for it. And then there's also another square piece of wood, and I don't remember where that came from. I don't know, it's possible that I used both the top and bottom of the CD case and then the sides as well. And then I think I had some other pieces of wood too, but they were all this beautiful color, and I just put them together to look like wood paneling here. And then I put some things on the walls. I put some buttons. Gosh. I stopped and started this video again because I was concerned that you couldn't see things very well, but when I went back and looked at what I had been filming, it seemed like it was okay. So it is such as it is with my level of skill and the materials and equipment that I have at hand, which I just use my iPhone. I don't have an iPhone, my Galaxy Android to make these videos, and it actually has a pretty good camera considering. So I felt like you couldn't see the buttons very well, but then it did focus on them. So these were in my mother's collection, and they were some regal looking buttons. Here's one of some horses. Over here on the wall we have a sticker of directions, north, south, east, west. So this room is so full it's hard for me to know where to start, but let's just go from one side to the other. So here is a pewter dog which was my mother's. I don't know where it came from, but it's very cute and very heavy. And behind it is this table, which again was made with these round disc bases that I used, that my mother seemed to have a plethora of, and a small candlestick holder, again, which she seemed to have a plethora of. And then on the top, there is a coaster, a wooden coaster, which happens to have a butterfly design on it. And then on top of it is this carved elephant statue. So back in the 60s and 70s, I believe, my stepfather collected some carved ivory. And of course, these days, that sort of thing is not a good idea. It might be illegal or whatever, but these pieces were obtained back then, and he had they're absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. But this type of thing, of course, is not sustainable these days. But I do have some pieces from his collection, and I've put them in here, and they're quite delicate. So then I have this table in the front, and this is a cedar box that I turned over and used as a table, and you can see again this beautiful carved elephant that was in my father's collection. This is a little music box, and then we have a globe that spins, a beautiful cloisonné little box, and we have these binoculars that I just made out of a sticker. And what I did was I bought a set of stickers, and they had various things on them, and then I just took some wall anchors and taped them onto the back of it and put some little jewelry findings on the ends. And so this is my sort of makeshift binoculars. And then this is a rather curious looking thing, and it's a sewing kit. You open it up and it's got needles and thread inside. So a very posh sewing kit. Over here, oh, and then you might notice this beautiful rug in this room. It's an embroidered doily that my mother used to use on her dressers, on the tops of her dressers. Here is a little bookcase. I thought if I was going to call this a library, I needed to have some books in it. So I have some rather cobbled together books. So these were, again, some stickers that I bought at the dollar store. And I put them together to look like books. And these are just the fronts of them, but the sticker set also had some tops and sides, so I just glued them onto some boxes. And this one says Shakespeare, and I just have it sitting on top there. And then on top of the box, again, the glue didn't seem to stick quite like I'd like it to. I might have to go back and glue them again. But this one says New Testament, 1506, and it's very pretty. And so these sides and tops were separate stickers, and I just put them together on a little box. And I don't know if we can see These books actually have names on them. This is I think it says Voltaire. No, I can't remember now. I figured out the words on this, but I can't remember them at the moment. You can see there's something that starts with a CH. Anyway, these books look pretty cool. So they're in our library. I have a little trunk from Hobby Lobby, and inside it is more stickers. There's another little globe, and there's an hourglass. On the wall over here, I have a couple of decorative pieces that are used like for drawers, on the outside of a drawer to put a handle. And so I just attached them to the wood with some little screws. And there's another, I think it was maybe a keychain back here. And I nailed that with a tiny sewing pin to the top of that piece of wood. And then I have these columns. I had bought these white plastic columns. I think it was on Amazon, and I got like 10 of them or something. And I also bought a set of statue replicas. And so the females I put in the church, and the males I put here in this room. So these are some famous statues, I suppose. I don't recognize them because I haven't researched that sort of stuff. But there's these over here. And in this corner is also a lamp. And it's some sort of wooden piece that I had. And over in this corner, here's another little elephant. This is a wooden elephant. And it's funny, you know, the way miniaturing works for me is that I just start playing, like Gretchen on Little Gretchen's workshop says. You just start playing and you come up with ideas. And like this little lace doily that's on top of here under the elephant, I had the elephant here and I had it on top of these boxes. And it was also dark, it was hard to see. And I had cut out this little piece of lace and put it on the window as a window covering. And I didn't like how it looked, so I took it off and it was just sitting here. And then when I put the elephant back here, I was like, oh, if I put that little doily under it, that will help you see it. So it's like things just come together and I just get ideas as I'm going along. And some of them are good ones and some of them don't work at all. So here's a little statue that I got at Goodwill. And he's very pretty and nice and white, so he shows up against this dark background. And then I have these two bookends that are very pretty with ships on them that are also holding some statues. And then I have, this was just a little pouch, a little leather, probably, I don't think it's real leather, pouch that I use for the men or the bears, as the case may be. And then this is another little wallet pouch for cards and things. And I just added these stickers to it, which also had come with this set of stickers that I had. So I think that's all the furnishings. And then, oh, well, I will show you these other furnishings that the bears are sitting on. But right now, let's just show you who is sitting in this room. And it is these two bears, and they are playing music because I love music, and this guy likes to play the saxophone. And he has a little top hat on. And this guy is playing the drums. Oh, there's his. Yeah, he has toothpicks for drumsticks and this little drum. And he has a little leather jacket on. So not too old-fashioned looking, but you know how it is. Okay, so I'm going to stop this and show you a couple of these chairs. So here the bears are sitting on chairs. First I'll show you this. This is the table that the wooden elephant is sitting on top of, and it is a set of these beautiful hexagon boxes, and they are all the same in their nesting, but I have taped them on top of each other. Whoops. There it went. To make this table, this very sturdy table. So that's those. So I moved this footstool down from the other sitting room, which I showed you in that video, because I have a different footstool up there right now, which I will show you in a little bit. So here's the drummer, and he is sitting on this chair, which is slightly wonky, but you don't really notice it when he's sitting in it. So this chair was made with a travel pouch, which I flipped so that one side is the base and one side is the back. And I put boxes inside the pouch to give it some stability, and painted them brown. And then I got, this was another laser cut frame that I painted brown, and I glued it to the sides to look like a carved wooden chair. That's that one. And then this guy, the saxophone player, earlier I was trying to, sometimes I have him arranged so that the saxophone is actually meeting his mouth, but on camera I don't seem to be able to do that very well, but sometimes I have him arranged that way. So he has a footstool also, and this footstool I made by using a pickle lid to give it some support on the base. There's some stuffing inside it, which happened to be sitting around when I was putting it together. And then it is a drawstring bag that I simply folded in on itself. So that's how I made that footstool. And then I have this beautiful chair, or bench, and so it is one of those spring jewelry boxes that would probably hold a necklace or something that opens up. And so what I did with it is, again, I just took a laser cut frame apart. I cut it in half. I used this part for the back, and then I made two sides and just glued it on, painted it brown on the outside and gold on the inside. And then I just thought I would show you, this is the little sewing kit. And Oh, I have to turn it on. It's a very pretty, looks like a Japanese scene. Is that Mount Fuji? And let's see. Oh, so before I move on to the next room, I'll just show you, this was something that I just wanted to show you that I had in my 1 to 12 scale family room in the Victorian apartment building. And I had made this of a jewelry box also. You can see it's a little ring box. This is the base of it. I broke off the lid to it and turned it around and used it as the back. And then I just glued both of those to a little white box. And when I showed it to you in the other video, it didn't have arms. So I found these the other day. These are what I was thinking of, and I didn't know where to find some extras. So these are just these little curly cues that I bought at some point. They've been useful for a number of things, and so I just glued them on as the arms. So I'm breaking this into 2 parts because it ended up being very long. So thank you so much for coming by today, and goodbye from the bears and me. And we'll see you next week where we take a tour of the kitchen. Bye-bye.